Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
A terrific Tuesday morning to you, wherever you are. Welcome, everyone, to today. The sun has risen. Another day has dawned on us. And so I want to encourage you today to get up, get up, get up, get going, Barbados, get up. I'm Pearson Boyne, welcoming you to another edition of Morning Barbados today. Always wonderful having you company, particularly those of you on our streams, Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. You have made a great choice. Thank you for coming in and sharing the show. Talk among yourselves, talk to us as well as we engage one with the other today. And of course, as always, if you know of something we need to talk about, send us an email. The email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you, we say thank you. Thank you very much indeed. I didn't have any rain yesterday, did you? I'm being so serious. Maybe it's the part of the island in which I was, but I had no rain yesterday. Maybe it's the atmosphere is beginning to dry out, but nonetheless, let's not drop our guard. Let's keep watch of the skies. I'm one of those who's grown very adept to not being able to read the clouds and to tell not just from which direction it's coming, but whether it's going to rain. And for us who've lived long enough and in places, you know, in a country like that, we know the feel of the wind, how the wind changes, and you feel it. You can almost feel the rain coming. So pay attention to the weather and the changing weather patterns as well. I want to encourage all of you to get familiar with what's going on. Speaking of what's going on, today we want to look at the discovery and the making of young environmental scientists. We will introduce you to a woman who has some interesting exhibits to share with us in just a little while, but perhaps it's a competition which your child needs to be a part of. We will tell you how to enter and when the deadline for entries is. November is World Prematurity Awareness Month, and so the NICU, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, is marking 35 years. And so we want to hear today about the changes, the development, the successes, and what are still some of the challenges and how we can give full support as we celebrate with the NICU of the QEH. Also, the school's competition, Pontifications and Poetry is on this weekend. We'll tell you how you can be a part of the audience and what to expect from that vocal competition as well. This morning, we'll meet one of the most influential African people of African descent. And who is it, you ask? I'll tell you it's a she. I'll also tell you it's a Bajan. And so we can't wait to celebrate her global achievement in just a little while. And tomorrow is International Men's Day. And just ahead of it, we want to look at co-parenting and to offer some advice and provide opportunities for men to be a part of a big event tomorrow that looks at how you can begin through the law courts to have access and really live your rights, access your rights through the law courts. But let's get started this morning by introducing you to the woman behind this big science fair that's coming up. Her name is Dr. Claire Jurett. She is a scientist, she's an author, she's an educator, she is fascinating. Good morning to you, Dr. Claire.
Good morning, Pearson.
And you brought with you things for me to see.
Yes.
Things in our environment.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
All of us run from, right?
Yes, that's correct. I have here, this exhibit, and this is a centipede. We all know
say
these.
the word.
We all know these, and we are terrified of these. But these have a purpose. These are not just to be sprayed whenever you see one.
She's talking about me.
Yes, centipedes are nocturnal creatures, and they are in your garden. Sometimes you see them in your houses when they make a mistake, and they come inside. But these eat lots of insects, bed bugs, they eat mites, and they are actually very good for the environment on the outside. And though, they do make mistakes and come inside and you spray them, they are actually very good for the environment. Anyone who has a garden, having centipedes is a good thing. That shows that there is, health in your garden, along with having things like earthworms and stuff.
I wish
So
you wouldn't call the word. When
So-
you say the word, they hear their name.
They hear
and they
their
make
name.
the mistake, as you frame it, and come inside.
and come inside.
Because
And-
generally they're external creatures.
Yes, they are external creatures, and they love to be outside, and they live actually in the dirt. And they have little burrows that they live in the dirt, and then they come up. The whole display today with the beautiful butterflies is to let you know that insects like these are important for the environment, and you would know when you were younger. You would have been able to see many more varieties of these butterflies, different varieties of snails. When I was a child, you would have had snails that were just white, or the shells would have just been pale pink colored. And over the years, people, as we have development, people destroy the habitats for these. We use a lot more pesticides and insecticides, so then we don't have places for these animals to live.
All right, slow down. Because I get you with the centipede.
Yes.
I get that. They're external. They like to forage in the earth,
Yes.
and they eat all of these other things.
Yes.
But they burrow and create aeration for the soil.
Yes,
I
that's
understand
correct.
all of that.
Yes.
They make mistakes,
Yes.
as you say, and they come inside.
Yes.
And because I cannot live with them.
Yes.
How, and I really cannot live with them, how do I help them avoid making mistakes
How well?
safely?
Well, like around the edges of, like the window sills, you can put things like sand or a little bit of baking soda. And when they get to that, they'll say, I don't like that. I don't like that. And they'll turn around and they will go back.
So
the
baking
way-
soda works?
Yes, baking soda works. And
The
baking
sand, I'm not yet on the sand.
yeah,
but the baking soda
yes,
works.
baking soda is 100% environmentally friendly.
So sprinkle
yes.
my door jams and everything.
Yes, where they would normally come inside.
A
yes.
light sprinkle or thick sprinkle?
Yes, a light sprinkle. Because
is enough?
a light sprinkle is enough, because each centipede, at the front, they have like 2 little antlers. And those antlers, as they go, they check the area before. So, as you see them walking, they have 2 little antlers, and they check everywhere beforehand. So when the antlers touch something that they don't like, it's like the antler is like telling them to taste it. And they say, I don't like that.
Good.
Reverse.
Oh.
reverse.
You make a good little creature.
Right, so that's what they do.
So that's what they do?
Yes.
All right, so baking soda would work for me.
Yes.
And if they are inside already, and I discover that they may very well be nesting, what do I do?
They're
I'm just
nesting
asking.
in your house?
I'm just asking.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Not at
like,
my house.
Not in your house. But you have to. Well, you will spray them, because that centipedes are quite fast.
Mm-hmm.
They can run. Some of them 20 and
And we
30
run
miles an hour.
faster.
Yes, and you run faster.
Yes.
But in the house,
Okay.
there's nothing that you can do.
You can do.
Yes.
But again, to avoid the mistake, you sprinkle your baking soda,
Yes,
which is
that's
very
it.
cost effective, I think,
Yes,
for a lot of people.
yes.
Your
yes.
windowsills, your door jams,
yeah,
and
yeah.
by your door, where the door meets the floor,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Yes, that's
All right.
correct.
Because
That's right.
oftentimes when people are cutting grass and the like, I find
Yes.
that's when they surface.
Yes, because you've disturbed where their homes are. In the grass and
Okay.
in their burrows. You
So
are moving
expected.
it.
And that's when I usually come with my spray and I do my bit. But you're saying
Right.
use baking soda, which
Yes,
is
you can use
environmentally
baking soda.
friendly.
Yes. So, with regard to our competition, when we are talking about biodiversity, we are asking the students to look at ways how you can protect biodiversity, how you can improve life on land, not only for our people, but life on land for insects, for the butterflies. What we are saying is that though we know that in some cases we have to use chemicals, we also have to leave the opportunity for these insects to have and live their own lives and be able to, to reproduce and do the good things that they can do if we were not in their way. Everybody loves, beautiful things like butterflies, but butterflies need, lots of flowers. butterflies need lots of places so that they can live and nest and put their eggs. We don't like the caterpillar stage because, caterpillars have to eat, but you have to get caterpillars before you get the butterflies.
The butterflies, then.
Yes.
You could rest that somewhere out of my sight. The butterflies. Let's talk a little bit about this. This is the monarch butterfly.
Yes,
And this
yes,
is the
that's
one
right.
I've grown up seeing a lot.
Yes.
The colorful ones at the top.
Yeah, that's right. And we haven't been seeing them more, so frequently because, the weeds that they eat different types of milkweeds. Those milkweeds are not, you don't see them as much these days because of the different, everybody loves to use, they want to clean up around their place and they use a lot of herbicides to kill everything and it looks really neat. But then when the butterfly comes along, he says, well, okay, where am I going to lay my egg? There's nothing here suitable for me. There's nothing suitable for me to eat. So one of the important things with regard to the competition is we are asking students, they can use different things from their environment to look out and look at a project, look at something that is out there to see, if you wanted to improve things, say for butterflies, what would you do? Would you encourage the planting of gardens, the planting of trees? What would you do? If you wanted to, make improvements, say for different types of insects, we know that there are many different types of trees and Barbadians love to picnic under trees. They love trees, but sometimes we do too much cutting of trees, the planting of trees. All of those things are really good for the environment and good for the insects so that they would have their homes and you can have your home and not worry about them coming inside.
Out of curiosity, what's the life cycle of a butterfly?
The life cycle of a butterfly, so we have basically the final stage, but a butterfly starts, so butterflies would lay eggs, those eggs would hatch, then when they hatch, you will have a little caterpillar. That caterpillar is going to eat some of the leaves and then he will pupate and in a chrysalis and then a butterfly comes out. We are very familiar with these white butterflies. You see a lot, we've been seeing a lot of them now since we are getting,
They're
the
cute. They're really
rain.
pretty.
They rain, but they will lay eggs and sometimes, say they lay eggs on things like cabbages and the caterpillar he would eat and then out come these beautiful butterflies and we love to see the butterflies but we don't like the caterpillars, but that is the life cycle of a butterfly. In 6 to 8 weeks a butterfly has gone from an egg to a caterpillar to showing off his beautiful
And he lives for another month.
and then he's done. Yes,
dear.
that's right.
How unfortunate because of a thing of beauty of that sort, and then that giant next to you, he goes on forever.
Yes.
All right, so the big fair is coming up. The young environmental scientists. Let's talk a little bit more about how to enter, who can enter.
Right. So we have two categories. We have the primary category, which is ages 7 to 11, and then we have the secondary category, which is from 11 or 12 until 18 years old. And the whole point is the students can go on and they can look at the competition to do a little project to see how we can improve life on land. And life on land is related to reducing biodiversity loss, improving the environment, climate change. In Barbados, we just had the deluge of water day before yesterday. How could we do things so that all of the mud that was washing down, that trees and things like cuscus grass would stop, mud and things because when it gets to the roots, it stops. So all of those are areas that students can investigate to talk about. This is a way that we can make improvements. So we want students to be really creative in talking about a project to improve the environment and improve life on land. And we know young people like video, so you can submit your entry as a video, to the website, and then I am one of the judges, and we will judge, and we will, have the different categories and give somebody, the beautiful award with prizes.
That website is Macmillan-Caribbean, all spelled out, Macmillan-Caribbean.com. And once you go on there, you scan the code, you make your entry, and you have until the 12th of December.
Yes, that's
The
correct.
12th of December, which is just a couple of weeks away to get your entry in. And good luck to all of our students indeed. You can work in groups of 4. You can work as the individual.
Yeah, that's
but
correct.
think of your environment. Think of how you can protect your environment and become a young environmental scientist. Look at the different creatures that we brought on. These are just examples.
Yes,
There's
yes.
so many others that are in our environment. How can we protect them? How can we protect the environment in which they live so that we ourselves can also benefit from the beauty and the benefits from health-wise from all of that protection as well.
Yeah, that's
but
correct.
remember, you have until the 12th of December to get your application, your entry in. Take a video. Take a video, let's see what you're working on. And then the judges will determine from there. It's a Caribbean-wide competition.
That's correct.
So good luck to Barbadians who are entering as well. Thank you so much, Dr. Julian.
Thank you. for
You're very
having me.
welcome. You're very welcome. Carried out with you here. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at Mornin Barbados.
Thrilled to be sitting next to one of the world's most influential people of African descent. A young woman who I met while she was still a girl in primary school. And ever since then, she has just been a star in ascendancy. We're talking about Barbadian Gabrielle Gay. Good morning to you, Gabrielle.
Good morning, Pearson.
Thank you so much. This
You're
is such a
welcome.
homecoming, almost like reunion, you know?
Yes.
And good morning, Barbados, as well.
It is congratulations, first of all, on the
Thank you
award.
so much.
But your life at quite early, you were contributing on calling programs.
Yes.
You were into reading and all of that, because that's where I first met you in person at Days Bookstore, which is now closed. But Days Bookstore, I was doing a broadcast, and you came, and then you helped me on the broadcast. That was phenomenal. But talk to me a little about you and what inspires you to take on the world in the way that you do.
You know, I've always, as you said, been a voracious reader. This journey started at 10 years old on Thomas on Thursdays.
Yes.
So massive, you know, just shouts out commendations to Tom Fields for that start. Became VOB Child of the Year. And then that just coupled with my love, voracious love for reading, just combined to then for me to start my first ever education program at just 13 years old, the Gabriel Gay Award for Excellence in Reading and Literacy Mentorship Program, where we promote literacy, make the books come alive, and award and reward high achievers and most improved readers across the entire island. And that is the longest running, first of its kind, and most awarded literacy program of its kind to come out of the Caribbean, Americas. And we're in over 115 universities and schools across Barbados and across the entire world. We've been honored by the Queen's Young Leaders Award Program. We've also been honored by the World Literacy Foundation as well. And this continued on for well over 20 plus years. And in 2020, my foundation, the Erlyn Bradshaw Foundation, named after my grandmother, I then started the FemLex cohort, which is an eco-technology justice program focusing on lawyers, women in technology, and women in justice overall, and essentially talking about and upskilling them how to use the law, digital innovation, and climate justice for sustainable change. So all of this innovation and work in education has led to this point now in my journey, because all of our programs, as I said, are the first of their kind, really changing and revolutionizing the education landscape. And I'm passionate about this because education, in my belief, is the single most important driver of social mobility. As well as changing the trajectory of people's lives and changing the trajectory of the world as we know it. Without education, there's no awareness.
Yes.
Without awareness, there is no change.
But when one stops to reflect for just a moment, there's some who are saying, but girl, you've had quite a life. You've lived well. But your mother was a critical part of it. It was your mother who brought you to the bookstore. That started this voracious reading you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And this passion for change through education.
Yes, please.
And I'm sure you want to recognize her as well.
Absolutely. You took the words out of my mouth. I love it. I was just my mother, Mrs. Margaret Gay. Hi, Mom. It really underscores the importance of socialization, the importance of parents. You are such a huge part of your child's destiny. And my mother, she's a co-founder of the foundation. As I said, named after my grandmother, who really became that catalyst for education, especially in the post-colonial times. She recognized from back then the power of education. So my mother passed it on. I tell people education, philanthropy, change is in my DNA. So I just have to thank my mother, my family for all of the support, and everyone who has partnered with us on this journey thus far.
How did you get to be on that list of the most influential people of African descent? In the first place, who nominated? How did that happen?
That's the thing. So I have a large following on social media, so I document all of the work that we do at the Erlyn Bradshaw Foundation on social media. We reach over 1 million individuals across the entire world and the Caribbean. So actually, MIPAD, the organization, they reached out to me a year prior and said, we've been watching you, and that's why I tell young people, anyone, whatever you're doing, you never know who's watching. So we've been watching you, and we believe that you will be an excellent nominee for this award. Now, I must say, this is big company to be in because I'm on the list with Oprah Winfrey, Jack Ma, the co-founder of Netflix, Prince Harry, Barack Obama are all on this list as well. And our own Prime Minister, Mia Motley, she also was given a Lifetime Achievement Award as well this year as well too.
So you're the first Barbadian to be on that list.
Yes, please.
For the work that you've done to change lives of so many all over the world.
Yes.
And so when the information came back to you that you were successful because they've been watching you.
Yes.
Talk to me about what that did to your spirit.
It was honestly a humbling feeling but also one that was absolutely euphoric. You know, to be the first Barbadian ever in history to be recognized by the United Nations and MIPAD for my work in education and technology philanthropy, to also understand that I'm also the only Barbadian on that list. And get this, Pearson, usually the list is of 100 people annually. This year, they actually narrowed it down to 50. So the stakes and odds were doubly high this year. So to be selected as a top 50 individual, you know, in philanthropy and social impact globally is mind-blowing. To put Barbados and the Caribbean on such a world stage has been absolutely incredible. So our awards were presented at United Nations General Assembly by the Mayor of New York. And, you know, just to stand there as a Barbadian was just such a surreal moment.
Wow. Now with all of this,
yes,
what's next for you, Gabrielle?
Definitely continuing the great work. You know, I also want to say that I was awarded because our organization partnered with CARICOM, Humane Intelligence, Blockchain Let's Group, and Global Citizen to pass the first ever eco-technology justice resolution and framework in the entire world. So what is that about? Essentially, we're advocating that we use the law to mandate that technocrats and large language model companies like ChatGPT, OpenAI, that they utilize a minimum of 30% renewable energy when training and cooling their data centers. Because, for example, a lot of individuals are not aware that even using just 15 queries into ChatGPT, every time you do that, you actually use and take away a half liter of drinkable water from the world's water system. So imagine that this is happening multiplied by the millions of users on these technology systems, and there are no laws in place to stop this. So that's part of our resolution and the groundbreaking work that we're doing through the FemLet's cohort and our technology justice programs.
You give breadth and meaning to a lot of people.
Thank you.
Through the work that you do. I know you're focused also on empowering women like yourself, and that's important to you.
Yes, please.
Why?
I think it's absolutely incredible for especially young women of color, young women from small island developing states. You know, one of my roles is as the Sustainable Development Champion for Education in the Prime Minister's Office of the Government of Barbados here, because it's important to be an ambassador to show young women that you can do incredible things. You can be 10, you can be 13, right? And you can change the world through education and innovation. But it may not be that. You can have a talent of cooking, baking, sports, whatever talent you have as a young woman, youth, or person overall, you can take that and change the world in perpetuity. And that is why I think what I do is so important, because it unconsciously and consciously gives everyone and young women the permission to be who they need to be and say, you know what? I can change the world. I can become a most influential person of African descent by doing what God has gifted me to do and to make the world a better place.
But you need an environment that fosters this.
Absolutely.
And while you had your mother, you were also quite individual from very young, from primary school age.
Yes,
you had an opinion, you wanted to share your opinion regardless of what the adult felt.
Yes.
But you did it humbly and respectfully.
Yes.
And so I want to challenge young women today, like yourself, who see that they have a need, there's a need to be filled, but who want to step back, to step forward.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're saying to them.
Absolutely.
Step forward.
And also to make sure that you also, if you don't have it at home, you can find spaces. As I said, you know, we have our Gabrielle Gay Award for Excellence in Reading and Literacy Mentorship Program. We have the FemLet's Cohort Mentorship Program. We also have the No Long Ting program that we do in conjunction with CARICOM and Blockchain Let's Group. We have all of these education programs where you can come and be mentored, you know, educate and grow and be upskilled in these emerging areas, but also be mentored as an individual to use your voice for change via education, technology, justice, and innovation. So if you don't have it at home, I'm telling you, there's spaces, and the Erling Bradshaw Foundation will welcome you with open arms.
Is it easy to find you?
Absolutely. So Gabrielle Gay on LinkedIn, Gabrielle Gay _, on Instagram, and then www.erlinbradshawfoundation.com. That is ERLINE Bradshawfoundation.org. find us, reach out, become a part of the Education Innovation family.
We had to reach out to you, Gabrielle Gay, because you're one of the most influential people of African descent and from this land for sure. And she's the first Barbadian to find herself on that list. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. There you are receiving your award. Look at your screen. There you are with the big smile. And so we are so proud of you. We've seen you grow into the darling that you are, but into the change maker and mover that you are as well. May you forever continue doing so, making the difference.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Pearson, for also, being that highlight and being the bridge, the media bridge, and Good Morning Barbados being platforms to highlight change that young people and positive individuals are doing across the world.
Thank you so much. All right. Gabrielle Gay, Kieran Oliveira saying you are a phenomenal young lady, super proud of your work for literacy and education, etc. Such an inspiration. So the folks on social media are talking about you, which is good.
Thank you so much.
Keep that conversation going. Remember, go online to erlingbradshaw.org and get to know more about how we can empower more of our young women to be like Gabrielle Gay as well. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affairs segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. As you do know, this month is Prematurity Awareness Month. I know it sounds like a big word, but what does it mean? And how is Barbados Hospital itself managing with prematurity and being able to have the positive outcomes that we all seek? Having gone 9 months or less, really, the mummy wants to know that she's able to take home her loved one, that she's cradled for a while. And so the world's favorite pediatrician, the world's best, is back with me, Dr. Gillian Bertrand, my good friend. Good morning to Dr. Bertrand.
Good morning, Pearson. How have you been? Good morning, Barbados.
I've been well. How have you been?
I have been good.
I've been here. You have not. And so it's always good to see you. And she leads the neonatal department at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. But you brought along a couple people. There's Bryce.
Hi.
And there's Amy as well, because there's a story to tell of the phenomenal work after 35 years at the hospital, at the NICU, that you're still doing. Let's delve into this. Statistics say that 1 in every 10 children born is premature, born premature. What does being born premature mean?
So I'm glad you brought that up, because in Barbados as well, our statistics are the same as the statistics you quoted. 10%, sometimes 11% of our babies are born prematurely. And what that means is that the baby is born before the full time that they are due, and that is before 37 to 40 weeks. So any baby who is born 36 weeks gestational age and below is considered premature. But there can be quite a spectrum. So a premature baby can be a baby who's 24 weeks or 25 weeks, as well as 36 weeks. So there's quite a wide range.
And when the baby is born before time, what does that mean for the baby?
Well, it means a lot for the baby and for the family as well. So for the baby, it means that they are not fully developed. The organs and different systems in their body are not fully developed, and so they are born in a very vulnerable state. And prematurity is a leading cause of newborn illness and death, both in Barbados and globally as well.
Amy, you hearing all of this?
Yes, I am.
Do you remember your journey?
I do. It was scary, and also it was informative, because at that time I didn't know anything really about prematurity. Bryce was born at 29 weeks, and he spent 6 weeks in the neonatal intensive care unit, and every day felt like something different.
At 29 weeks?
29 weeks.
And that's barely halfway through, Dr. Bertrand.
Yes, so that is substantially premature. So all the different organ systems in a baby who's born at 29 weeks, your brain, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, those are not mature. So it isn't simply that a baby is little. It's also that they have not even reached the point of development where they can survive on their own if they're born. So they need a lot of support at that time.
And when you heard all of that all of his little internals had not yet developed to the point where he was able to sustain life on his own. Talk to me about your emotional challenges.
Oh, that was rough. I remember there were times when I would get a phone call, and you never know what the phone call is, but usually the phone call was he needed a blood transfusion. And I think he had like 9 blood transfusions during his stay at the hospital. When you go in, you see this little tiny thing in an incubator with all these machines hooked up to him. But I also recognize, you know, it's for his good to be there, just to get healthy, get to that point where I can bring him home. But it was scary.
You saw your little birth with needles and bits of pieces stuck on his little tiny body.
Yeah.
And you thought, what was my 29 weeks for?
Yeah.
To do this?
Yeah, it was. But I mean, thank God, because prayers really help. And just being able to go in and see him and, you know, track his progress, that was also like really big for me. but it was a scary journey for sure.
Dr. Birchwood, the emotional support at the time of that, is that provided at the NICU?
The emotional support is mainly informal. So we have a network of nurses and doctors, and nurses, particularly by virtue of the fact that they're at the bedside 24/7, they tend to be there and see the parents come in, and they can really talk to them and encourage them, because not every day is a good day. When you have a baby on the intensive care unit, many parents will describe the experience as a roller coaster experience. There's some days when you're on top of the world, my baby's doing so well. Then other days the news is not so good, and they really get a crash down at the very bottom. And so very often parents, yes, they'll bond with the doctors, but the nurses are there all the time. And they provide a lot of support, and they often will be the ones to say, you know what, this mom's having a bad week, dad's not doing so well, can you just make sure you talk to them a little bit extra, or perhaps they need referral for counseling services, because it's a very traumatic experience to have a baby born very prematurely. You hand your vulnerable baby over to strangers for 6 weeks or even up to 6 months sometimes. A baby can spend all of that time. Parent can't hold them, they can't breastfeed them, and they wonder, why am I here? I feel so helpless. It can be very traumatic.
Having grown with a big belly for a little while, and look, I can't even touch my baby.
Yes.
But Amy talked about incubator and the systems that are now in place, thankfully, over the last 35 years, to be able to manage life or to replicate as far as possible the womb so that the child can thrive. Let's talk about the developments over time that QEH has been through in the NICU.
Yes. I was not here at the inception of the newborn intensive care unit in 1990. Over the years, I've calculated perhaps about 20,000 babies have been through that newborn intensive care unit. And when it first started, there would have been incubators, but certainly the equipment has become much more sophisticated over time. We have added ventilators, specialized ventilators, ultrasound, use of ultrasound on the intensive care unit, IV, specialized precision IV pumps. Back in those first days, they had to count how many drops were coming from the IV to give the baby. Now you just plug a number in and it can give you 2.67 mils an hour. So precision medicine has really made its way onto our unit and also globally. And that's absolutely essential when you're looking after a very tiny person who may be 600 grams. That's less than a loaf of bread in terms of their size. And so you can't give too much or too little fluid. And so precision has really made its way onto our intensive care unit. We've been blessed to be one of the very few NICUs in the region to be able to provide care at the standard that we are now. And we are a referral center, so that in many other Eastern Caribbean countries, when moms are expecting a high-risk baby, they would transfer them here to Barbados for their babies to be born here so that we can provide the care and the best support possible.
Well done to you and your team at the QE and NICU. And so, when the child is born premature, with all of that you've just given, what's the prognosis? Would every child survive, or are there situations where some children do not survive?
I wish I could say that 100% of babies would survive, but that is just not the reality. The only guarantee I ever give parents is that we, as a team, are going to do our very best. But the more premature a baby is, the higher the risk of that baby not surviving, or if the baby does survive, there's a higher risk of that baby having developmental concerns. But that is still the minority of babies who have major developmental concerns. And so for those babies who don't survive, it is usually because they are very sick, obviously. Some babies are simply too sick or too premature to survive. And it's very challenging for the parents. You know, they would have pinned all their hopes on this growing belly. The whole family too, not just mom and dad, but the entire surrounding family. And we as the staff as well, we feel hurt and traumatized when those babies don't survive. That's why we come to work. We want to see those babies survive. We want to see them thrive. We want to put them with their families.
Knock wood, I've seen the survival. Bryce is one example of survival. In my family, I've had survivals as well. And so, Amy, with all that the doctors have been saying to you, and I don't know, has Bryce heard this story before?
Not in depth.
So he has no clue about what happened to him in the early stages. But it's nothing to hide.
No.
Because he himself is a fantastic example of the great work done at the NICU and supported by you and your family.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember, like, when I think about trauma, My trauma was really when they brought him home, because in the NICU, you hear the beeping of the machine, so you know like the oxygen level is up to where it should be. When they brought him home, I don't think I slept for the first like maybe 6 weeks or so, because I was checking him all the time to make sure he was breathing, he was growing, he was feeding well. It was rough. My trauma was definitely when I initially brought him home. But outside of that, it's been really good for him, because he has never had to go back into the hospital for anything. So that was a blessing for me with him. But he hasn't heard this story too much.
Bryce, you're hearing the story not too much, but you're hearing a little bit more today about children who were born prematurely. You hear your story as well. You were born so tiny, and you were put into an incubator. You had to take blood transfusions. Do you know what that is?
No.
Dr. Birchwood can tell you. Can you ask her what it is?
What is blood
blood transfusion? So, Brycey, a blood transfusion is when a blood count, you know the blood that's in your body that looks red. In premature babies, they can't make enough of that blood. It breaks down all the time. And so the blood count can be very low. That's called anemia. And it can make your body have to work very hard. And so you can get a donation of blood from somebody else, and then you get it poured into your body through an IV. So that's called a blood transfusion. It is to help save a baby's life or a person's life. Okay, so you had lots of them.
You had all of that done to you. And so here you are. Do you play sports and the like? Because I see you're sportswear. What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Why?
Because I just like it.
You just like it. Have you ever felt different from anybody else? Nope, just normal like everybody else, right? And have you had to go back to the doctor for checkups and so forth? Wow,
Not
Amy,
that
this
much.
is fantastic. So he's grown well.
He has.
And that's the whole point. So Dr. Birchwood, sometimes there are some premature children who have to have constant medical care because they do have other challenges. And one of those challenges you said could be mental? Like, I use that word guardedly.
Yes. So although the vast majority of babies who are born prematurely will have normal growth and development, a certain percentage can have altered development. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's dramatically altered. A very small percentage can have severely altered development, but that is definitely the vast minority. The majority of children who are premature will be able to go into the school system and grow and thrive, just like Bryce has, but there is a higher incidence of autism and ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, in children who were born prematurely. And of course, there's an inverse relationship. So the more preterm a child is at birth, the greater the risk that there could be associated neurodevelopmental, diverse outcomes.
And I want to talk more about that when we come right back after this break. Folks, we're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
9.5 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock, as this is premature awareness, prematurity, awareness? Thank you. All of that. That's what we're talking about today. It happens in Barbados. It truly happens in Barbados, where there are mothers who deliver prematurely, and their babies who are in the neonatal intensive care unit at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. But there are professionals there who provide positive outcomes. But not every outcome is necessarily positive, and they've worked so hard to ensure that they keep that number very, very low. And so Dr. Bertrude is here with me along with Amy and Bryce. Amy and Bryce was one of those who survived and who's thriving, who's doing so well. He's into football. He's into defense as a part of his team. He's traveled with his football team. He is just good, and he's intelligent as well. And that's the beauty of what can happen. So there are times when there's some neurological challenges.
Yes.
And so when that happens, you get the referrals.
Yes. So actually, we do something called early intervention in the world of neonatology. So babies are automatically referred for therapy, regardless of whether they've shown signs of anything or not, from the time they are discharged from the hospital. Certainly once they're less than 30 to 32 weeks, we will refer them to our Albert Cecil Graham Children's Developmental Center, which is a wonderful organization where they will provide physiotherapy for the children to help them catch up. You will have to understand that, of course, they were born premature, so they need to catch up, and they will receive speech therapy or occupational therapy under the supervision of a developmental pediatrician. So that's a very essential team, because when our babies go home, they are at a disadvantage, and so we need to make sure that they catch up as quickly as possible.
Amy, did you have to go through all of that?
Yes, Bryce did. He went to Dr. Rhea at the Children's Development Center. Can't remember that long name. And then he also did speech therapy privately with the Easy Speak Enterprises. And he did the therapy at the Children's Development Center for about a year. And he walked at 13 months, which is really good for him. And then with the speech therapy, that lasted for just over a year as well, which was very helpful with his development.
You were persistent.
I was.
And insistent to provide the best for your son.
Absolutely.
And so you've seen him thrive, and you see the change, because he's verbal.
Yeah.
He's very good at it as well. He's very smart.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of how he has grown and developed. Is there a look to a child who is premature?
Sometimes you can tell, but that would be not something that the average person is going to notice. When babies are born very prematurely, their skull is especially soft. And premature babies, of course, can't move around very easily. So they may lie down on one side or the other. And sometimes you can notice that the sides of the head are just a little bit narrow. And I would pass somebody in the street and say, they were a preemie.
You can tell.
Yes.
She could tell. And so we're taking a look at, it's just gone. By the time I looked around, it was gone. Some pictures, here we go, of what happens. Describe for us what we're looking at here.
Over there, you can see. And I would let Amy describe that.
Right.
Amy, this is yours?
Yes, this is Bryce.
This is Bryce.
Okay, Bryce. Tell me.
So the picture on the left, that is when Bryce was first born. That's when he just came out. And this one, he was probably like 2 weeks old. And this one, as he has on the ventilator.
Right.
And then the other one, you can see the ventilator is off, and he's sleeping very peacefully.
That's progress.
In the incubator.
In the incubator. So then the picture here on the left, this is the day he actually came home. And this is his growth. He was about 3 months in the middle. And then by this time here, he was about a year old.
Bryce, look at you. Look at you. Did you see yours? And as he's grown at 5 years old, we see his development as well. And we were told often that premature babies, the eyes are different. They're a lot more stunted, that kind of thing. Is that true?
Well, they certainly can have prematurity affecting their eyes. And I'm certain that Bryce would have had his eye checked.
Yes, he did.
To make sure that the blood vessels grew, because premature babies can develop blindness if their eyes are not monitored properly. Fortunately, we have a very robust eye supervision program led by Mr. David Callender for many years to ensure that that never happens. Stevie Wonder was a premature baby, and he lost his vision because there was not that type of eye supervision for him. And so definitely we have a lot of support programs. It's not just a team on the NICU, we have a lot of support around us, which helps us to do what we do.
And lots of implements as well that help you to do what you do. We just saw Bryce in the incubator, and he had to use all sorts of
oxygen,
ventilation.
breathing support,
right.
yes.
And so you brought for us some examples of how tiny the pieces of apparatus that you have to use on these little babies to just help them survive. So let's show what we have so far.
So yes, so this is, for comparison, a small adult mask. So you'd use this perhaps on a teenager or a bigger child. So a small adult mask, not even a regular size adult mask. And this is the mask for a premature baby.
Wow,
so you can
look at
see the
difference.
comparison. So this would have been the size mask, for example, that Bryce might have used if he needed any oxygen support or breathing support. So you can see the difference. And it's amazing how children grow.
Yes, indeed
You can
so.
hold it, Bryce, you wanted to see.
So you can see for
then-
yourself, Bryce, what you had to wear.
And then these are blood pressure cuffs, so that people know the
is funny.
standard size.
Yes, we know the big things that we wear.
Yes, the standard size blood pressure cuffs. This is for a full-term baby, this is for a premature baby, and this is for our tiniest little citizens. These ones fit them, and it looks ridiculous like this, but when you put it on the baby, it fits perfectly.
My goodness.
Yes.
That tiny?
Yes.
That tiny.
Absolutely. They're so tiny that parents are terrified when they see them. Can this child even survive? But they really do. They're so feisty, they fight so hard, and they have such heart that it encourages us to keep going.
Just keep going, indeed. And so the NICU, marking 35 years.
Yes.
And who comprise the people in that NICU?
Yes. So as I said, it's very much a team. So there are 3 neonatologists. There are a number of nurses. We don't have quite enough. But our nurses are really key support personnel. We have a team of other physicians to support the workings of the NICU. We have custodial staff who are also incredibly important. Keeping a clean environment, we cannot overestimate the importance of that. And then we have our health aides who are responsible for dealing with all of the equipment, making sure that that's kept in a good condition so that we can make sure that the equipment is clean and ready for those babies. Imagine if you had a dirty incubator and you put a baby who was 24 weeks in it. So this is the core staff. But as I said, there's a lot of support that goes into that. Engineers to make sure the equipment is functioning. We have other physicians who support us, our cardiologists when babies have heart conditions. We have our hematology oncology specialists if our babies have blood problems. We have the eye specialists, as I said, who's a key part, developmental pediatricians. So there's a huge cloud of witnesses around each baby who is, born.
Biblical of me. Indeed, I love it. But the point is that the team swoops in and we have all of these professionals because every child deserves the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And in the NICU, at the QEH, and so Roosevelt Back was saying to the doctors and nurses, you've done a great job. Continue doing the great job as well.
Thank you.
I'm sure many Barbadians are saying the same. If not one, most families in Barbados have been touched by someone who was born prematurely.
Yes.
We've seen the outcomes, we've seen all of the potential. Look at Bryce. Bryce is so rich with potential and he's already grasping the world in his hands and making a difference. And so gone were the days where prematurity meant, oh my gosh, it's the end of life for that child. Now are the days where prematurity means we have a team of people at the hospital who are swooping in to make that difference and give that child the best chance possible in the world. And so to you and your team, Dr. Birchwood, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
For the phenomenal work you do. I mean, it can't be easy, but you do it out of love and care for our nation's children.
Yes,
Well
thank
done.
you so much.
You're welcome. And to you, Amy, continue caring well for Bryce. Bryce is a
you.
great guy. Pat Ben is saying sweet blessings to you, little Bryce. Such a testament to
you.
God's will and the excellent nursing care.
Thank you.
So well done to you, Bryce. People are talking about you too. Well done indeed. And so Vereen Walker is saying, wow, what a blessing. My God, continue to bless him.
Yes.
So may God also continue to bless him and all of the other children who are premature as well. Thank you so very much, each of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank you.
Bryce.
Thank you for
Good to see you
having
again,
us.
buddy. All right. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special?
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Mornin Barbados news is brought to you by Jordan Supermarkets Spend and Eat 2025 competition.
Let's look at the news now. Authorities toured the flood-affected areas yesterday to gauge the damage done. Crystal Hoyt was among them, and she files this report.
9 inches of torrential rain pounded the island yesterday, flooding several communities, rendering multiple roads impassable, and claiming the life of one man. The Barbados Police Service has identified him as 58-year-old Terry Kelman of Lower Estate, St. George.
We had a situation last night with the torrential rain where a gentleman was washed off of a bridge over there by Charles Road Bridge, and his name is Terry Kelman. The emergency services responded yesterday with large contingent from the fire service, 3 trucks and officers. The BDF was there, the Coast Guard was there, the police were there, and we were trying hard to find Terry and hopefully rescue him. We searched for him by drone, heat spectrum drones, to see if we could detect the heat signature, and his body was recovered and his family identified him this morning.
At first light, Acting Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw, Minister of Home Affairs Wilfred Abrams, and emergency personnel toured the hardest hit communities across the island, from St. Lucie to St. Peter to St. Andrew and St. Joseph, accompanied by their respective parliamentary representatives. Acting PM Bradshaw says the rain has had a significant impact.
Not just the households across the various communities, but it has also impacted the road infrastructure and all of the infrastructure, many of which is in motion in terms of ongoing road works across the Scotland district, because as most people know, we're doing a lot of mains replacements. And as a result of doing the mains replacements, you're going to see roads dug up, you're going to see trenching being done. Rains like this basically set back the road works program, but it has also, in a sense, eaten out the roadway, and you're going to see a lot of different holes which we are working feverishly now to be able to close up.
MP Colin Jordan, speaking in St. Peter, recognized the difficulties while highlighting what had worked well.
This canal did exactly what it was supposed to do. There was a video circulating saying that Spikestown has flooded, but what the video showed was the canal doing exactly what the canal was constructed to do. So that in Roundy Town, there was no flooding. In Gills Terrace, there was no flooding. Based on the volume of water that we had yesterday, both of those areas would have flooded significantly. My fear is that if we had not, as a government, built this canal about 5 or 6 years ago, that we may have had loss of life.
Flooding and land slippage were the main issues reported to the Department of Emergency Management. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
We're also hearing that residents of St. George are fearful following that flooding in their area. Here's Rachel Agard with that report.
Flooded houses, waterlogged roads, and the cars underwater were the result of heavy rainfall last night. The heavy waters caused severe flooding in some parts of St. George, including Charles Road Bridge, Lower Estate, and Salters, making the roads impassable. Residents today began to pick up the pieces. Over at one of the shops in Charles Road Bridge, proprietor Peter Yearwood said each year flood waters in the area continue to rise. He said his shop was under 6 or 7 feet of water.
I want to see some work down here because I know they can build a box train, cross the road, put in a grill, cross there as well to trap some of that water, and they can bore another deep well on the other side. Because the well on the other side working beautifully because it lately get clean. But let me tell you, you need another well because you got to cut down the force of that water and probably do some box trains a little further up. You understand? I can start the water by coming down the hill.
Salesperson at AP Variety, who gave her name as Leandra, said her sisters had to be removed from the house by an excavator.
That surf flooding is not a surf flooding that you should have in Barbados, right? That was really devastating. I never once experienced anything like this.
One lady, who gave her name as Sherilyn, recalls the community rallied together to rescue a woman and a baby from a submerged vehicle.
My family here and friends, it's just God that they got out safely. And in that car was a woman, and I was informed because I didn't get to meet her that she had a 3-month-old baby and the car was submerged. If you see how God placed that car there, it did not go over the brink like the other one. So to the Barbados Fire Service, thank you so much. God bless you.
The Ministry of Transport and Works were on hand clearing the road in Charles Road Bridge, which is once again passable. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
The police at District A Station are investigating a murder in Station Hill, St. Michael on Sunday. Dead is 33-year-old Kareen Akeem Holder of Goddings Road, Station Hill. According to a statement, the police discovered Holder's body lying motionless along Station Hill Road with injuries. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The police are appealing to you if you know any information to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477 or emergency number 211. Remember, all calls will be treated in strictest confidence. A 22-year-old man has been remanded to Dodds Prison on firearm and drugs charges. He is Kevario Shaquem Tashim Griffith of Wilson Hill, St. John. He was not required to plead to possession of a firearm and 14 rounds of ammunition. He was also not required to plead to possession of 21.5 grams of cocaine, trafficking and intent to supply those drugs, which carried an estimated street value of $1,077.50. He is appearing before Magistrate Angela Knight in the District 3 Court, and he is scheduled to reappear on the 2nd of December. And a call for a return of moral grounding and renewed responsibility was echoed as a local faith-based group gathered to highlight what they described as the growing decline in values and family life. Deanza Roberts filed this report.
It was a message rooted in scripture and delivered with urgency. Founder of Prayer Warriors International, Pastor Courtney Selman, says, the launch Let's Make the World Morally Better in hope of spreading the message beyond the country borders. He opened with a passage from Deuteronomy, urging parents and communities to teach truth diligently, a call, he says, that has been ignored for far too long.
We have dropped that moral ball. It has created a gaping void in some of our homes, in the communities, and sad to say, even in some of our churches, which is now debilitatingly replaced with lovelessness, crime, immorality, and other maladies.
He linked what he sees as a downward slide to a lack of morals in communities.
Why is it crucial to focus on morality in our daily lives, Sally? Because morality is the foundation upon which we build trust, community, and resilience. It guides our decisions, informs our interactions, and ultimately shapes the society we want to create and to live in. in the world often clouded by distractions, hate, selfishness, anger, and division. My friends, returning to moral principles and values are not just necessary, but it is vital.
It is a renewed call for moral leadership, one they hope will speak real change in homes, schools, and communities. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
That's news until now. We'll have more news coming up at 12 noon right here on TV8. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Morning Barbados news is brought to you by Jordan Supermarkets Spend and Eat 2025 competition.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you...
15 past the hour now, you know what that means. Time for you to win as we celebrate 59. And so we want to give you an opportunity to complete some Bajan proverbs. Try as hard as you can. Try as well as you can. But I want, when you give an answer, to give to me the meaning as well, so that we can all learn from what we think we know. So get ready to call me now, 228-5562 or 228-5563. Listen, tit for tat, better for fat, butter for fat, sorry, tit for tat, butter for fat. What goes after that? Finish that Bajan proverb. I have no clue, and I'm just saying, being so honest with you indeed. So 228-5562 or 63. Let the children call as well, because perhaps they know the answer. Tit for tat, butter for fat, blah, 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 blah. What comes after that? Call me now, 228-5562 or 63. Tit for tat, butter for fat, and you get a chance to win. Finish that proverb. It's a Bajan proverb, and I don't know what it means. Help me out, please. Please, please help me out. Call me, 228-5562 or 228-5563. Have you heard it before? If you have not yet heard it, then perhaps you'll learn it today. Tit for tat, butter for fat, so forth and so forth. What comes in that dash you see on your screen? 228-5562 or 228-5563. As you know, Barbados marks its 59th anniversary of independence on the 30th. And so we are celebrating 59, and you're getting a chance to win. And you're getting a chance to win a significant prize as well. So tit for tat, butter for fat, finish that proverb. And then you also tell me what it means from your perspective. A number of you would say to me, oh, I hear my grandmother saying that. I didn't know what it means. Neither have I. So I have no clue. So you call me and tell me, please. Tit for tat, butter for fat, 228-5562 or 228-5563. I know a number of us would have said those simply because it rhymed sweetly. But what does it mean? Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. I tit for tat, butter for fat, I kill you cat.
I kill you cat.
Mm-hmm.
Tit for tat, butter for fat, I kill you cat. That sounds unfinished. You sure that's all of it? Are you sure that's all to it?
I think so.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is she right or is she wrong? By the way, what's your first name?
Pardon?
What's your first name?
I hear you.
What's your first name?
No.
Oh, you! You are so wrong. You're wrong here? Thanks for trying. You're wrong. You are wrong. You are WRONG wrong. Thanks for trying though. Have a good one. Have a good one. Still open for you folks. Tit for tat, butter for fat, finish the rest of it. What is that? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me. I kill you, cat. So call me 228-5562 or 228-5563. Tit for tat, butter for fat. So let's see. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
What are you listening to?
Hello.
Good morning. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Good. Oh, you can hear me now. What's your first name?
Lisa.
Lisa. Where are you watching from?
St. James.
Lisa of St. James. Lisa, do you know this? Yes or no?
I got some help. I'll try.
You got some help. Help from who?
My mom.
From your mother. And your mother is significantly older than you?
Yeah. She's in her 80s.
Oh, she's in her 80s. All right. So what did your mother tell you?
So, butter for fat. If you kill my dog, I'll kill your cat.
You feel that's it? So because your mother told that to you, you believe that's right?
Pardon?
Lisa, listen to the phone. Only listen to the phone. So because your mother said that to you, do you believe she's right?
Yeah, because for some of the other proverbs last week, she had it right. It's just I wasn't getting through.
So your mother never gets anything wrong? Right, Lisa. For you, your mother is never wrong. Am I right?
I believe so. You know, they're saying wisdom comes with age.
Yes, but a lot of people grow up foolish too here. Nonetheless, let's see if she's right. Let's see if Lisa's right. What's the answer? Lisa, you're absolutely right. You kill my dog, I kill your cat. Your mother is right. What's your mother's first name, Lisa?
Lillian.
Lisa and Lillian of St. James, they got it right. Lisa, stay on the phone. Don't put down. We have some information to get from you because you are a winner. And Andre will take your information so we can pass it on to our marketing department who will speak with you. So well done to Lisa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Thank you so much. You're so generous. We have another one, I believe. We're 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Do we have another one? Do we? They tell me later on? Okay, later on. I was told 2 at one time. I'll do the other one a little later on. So stand by for that other opportunity to win. Now, I sat among some people recently, and we were having just general conversation. They turned to me and asked, when is Pontifications and Poetry? Because I can't miss it. And I said, it's coming soon. Just keep listening and watching. Well, today, if you are one of those people, well, hello. They're here with us this morning. We have Dr. Denise Charles, who is Education Officer for Arts and Digital Literacy in the Ministry of Educational Transformation. And with her is the Training Director of Pontifications and Poetry, Antoine Williams. Both of you, good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Charles, good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. So many people look forward to this year.
Yes.
Because our young people are doing so well. They're speaking so competently and their minds are flowing. And so here we are. This is the third year, I believe, is it?
This is this is the third year, I believe. Yes,
It's
the third year.
Third year. And it has grown in numbers, it has grown in respect and desire by our audience as well. So when is it and how can we be a part of it?
Okay, it is Saturday, this coming Saturday, November 22nd at 5 p.m. at Frank Collimer Hall. Unfortunately, the tickets are out.
Oh, no.
You know, the tickets are out. But for those of you who are looking forward to being there, either you're a specially invited guest or you did get your tickets on time, it is going to be a phenomenal occasion. At the Ministry of Education Transformation, you know we are right now on our journey towards educational transformation under the banner Every Child Barbados. And events or initiatives like pontifications and poetry, they're not just to be seen in isolation as isolated events or competitions that have nothing to do with the school curriculum. They're very much grounded in the objectives of our curricula in terms of helping our students to develop their competencies and skills as 21st century citizens, because they are engaging in collaborative exercises in these types of initiatives. They're developing their skills in elocution and building their confidence, being able to speak towards issues and events that challenge the nation, that challenge them as youth. So we're encouraging things like youth advocacy and helping them to become sensitized to their environment, to what is happening around them, and giving them the skills and competencies that they can speak out. Because that's the theme, speak up, speak out.
Okay, speak out, speak up, speak out.
Yes.
And so, sometimes our Barbadian children can go so quiet. And I'm glad that this exists to allow those who like to speak up and speak out to speak up and speak out.
That's right.
And to provide a platform for them to be able to do so. How many schools or how many children are competing this time around?
We have 20 finalists, because you could imagine that an exercise like this would have been expansive in its beginning. So this would have gone out to all schools, all primary and secondary schools. And then schools would have entered students. Some parents would have entered their children as well. And at the level of the school, we want people to understand that this is a part of the curriculum. Children are taught oracy to develop their oral skills as a part of the syllabi, both at CXC and at the primary level. And this competition allows our students to really execute and showcase what they have been learning in school. But of course, there is special training for the competition itself, which you're going to hear shortly from Antoine. There is special training. But we have a number of schools. We do have some schools repeated in that we have some schools with more than one person who've made it to the finals, but we have a range of schools. We have 20 students. I don't know if you want to hear some of the schools. We have the St. Michael's School, the Barbados SDA, we have St. Margaret's Primary, we have St. Lawrence Primary. They have more than one competitor in the competition. We have Shirley Chisholm Primary, Christchurch Girls, Princess Margaret Secondary School, and Darrell Jordan Secondary. So the Barbados SDA also has more than one student, and that's at the level of the speech, because this competition is speech and poetry. So it's pontifications, which is the speech part, and then we have the poems. We have in the poetry segment of the competition students from Darrell Jordan Secondary, St. Mark's Primary, St. Winifred School, Charles F. Broome Memorial, Reynold Weeks Primary, Darrell Jordan again, Alexandra Secondary, St. Lawrence Primary. So we have, a wide expanse of schools, both at the primary and secondary level, taking part in both parts of the competition.
And so readying them, this is where you came in, Antoine, to help coach, mentor, guide, show the way forward. How has that been for you, though?
It's been quite a journey. The thing is, you get a chance to meet students who are coming with different dimensions, personalities. Some are obviously stronger than others, but they all have the same purpose and mission, and that is to speak. They have a message, and they want to share that message. And even though they might have been assisted by the teacher or the parent, as I keep saying to the child, on the day, it's only you. It's your show. So they have got that in their heads, realizing that, hey, I can do this. And the training focused a lot on, confidence, stepping up and being strong in terms of your presence on stage and so on. Of course, we looked at the components of a good speech, the introduction, the body, the conclusion, those elements. We looked at vocabulary, use of language. What is the purpose of your speech? Do you want to entertain? Do you want to educate? Is it a call to action? All those elements. And most of the children, if not all of them, really, for me it was like, okay, it's easy. You got it already. Just go and do what you have to do, and be strong about it, and understand that yours is a message. And what we did, we didn't give them, like a bucket and say, well, these are only the topics. We give them some options like climate change, education, things of that sort. But you are free to speak on anything at all. Of course, that is child friendly, and obviously supervised by an adult. So we're going to see a variety of speeches, messages from those students. And as far as poetry is concerned, and we know that within the cultural landscape, there is that effort to create poetry and spoken word.
Yes.
So again, I was at St. Lawrence Primary School last week, and 2 students who are in the poetry category, and I sat there and I was like, wow, we're not ready.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, so it's going to be exciting, and I want the audience to take it as it is. You know, don't come believing, oh, it's a competition and they got to do it. Just accept what you see as a natural process
of the child's growth.
Of the child's growth. Simple
We're
as
encouraging our
that.
children to speak up and speak out.
Yeah.
And so this is what it's all about, to hear what's in their little minds
Exactly.
as they do. And this is a competition that pits primary and secondary together in one area in some instances.
Well, actually, we have 2 separate competitions, as it were, happening at the same time. So the primary students are competing only against each other.
Oh, okay.
And the secondary school
I got
students,
you then.
even though you will see them compete in a particular segment at the same time, they're not going to be judged like that. So
Okay.
all the primary students will be competing only against each other, and likewise for the secondary.
What have you seen to be the growth coming out of this pontifications in poetry over time?
Well, we're expecting further student development. As we said, it is really about the child. It is really about catering to the needs of every child and helping every child to find their niche, their talent. And we believe that the ability to speak, the ability to express your opinion, to do it confidently, to do it creatively as through poetry, and even creatively through speech, because we're from the past episodes we've had of this competition, we've seen some excellent presentations,
I'm
lots
telling you.
of creativity. You know, they bring props to the stage. Sometimes they use human props, sometimes they use other things to get their message across. So it's really a dynamic, exciting competition. I love to see the creativity that the students bring to it. I love to see their confidence. I love to see how they tackle difficult topics, you know, with such ingenuity and innovation. So we expect no less on Saturday, November 22nd at the Frank Cullimer Hall at 5 p.m. We're encouraging all patrons to be on time. Please be seated by 4:45 because this event is being held under the patronage of our Prime Minister, the Honorable Mayor Amar Motley. She is one to champion the students' ability to speak, and I am sure that she herself will be pleased with what the students will present on Saturday.
20 students.
Yeah. May I also add that when we talk about the training and all that, there are some students who, well, the invitation was issued, and some students have expressed interest in MCing.
Yes.
And also in event management.
Yes, students
so
are
there are some of them
other
who will be working
competencies being
alongside the service providers.
That's right.
The MCs, one of the MCs present.
Yes, I have a co-MC, a student co-MC.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 student co-MCs because I'm one of the MCs along with
Michelle
from
Spencer.
Stonehall. Right. Yes. So we have 2 student co-MCs as well. We have students shadowing in stage management.
Stage management,
as well,
video recording.
and video and so on.
Give
So it's
them
about developing
whole
the
new
students
world.
all round.
Expose them to what the world, real
Yes,
world.
real
and
world
let them-
experiences in
Yeah,
real
grow
world
with it.
context. Yes.
Because it was going to come to that, Antoine, because you're a man of theatre. You're also into theatre.
Yes.
And in preparing the children for the delivery in their speech, at the same time, you're also tackling their ability to communicate through theatre and the way they use their bodies and everything
Yes.
else as well.
Yeah.
Have they been as receptive as you would want, or are they still a little stiffy, as we say?
A little stiffy, yeah. No, but that's understandable.
Yes.
I mean, first of all, you got to look at the time element, one, and you have to remember, too, that it's a part of socialization. You know, a child may be naturally, what do I want to expressive, and that's, we can work with that. Then there's some children who are influenced by their socialization and so on. So you have to bear that in mind. And you know, they have to understand, you know, lose self. You have to lose self and just become another character.
Yeah.
You choose the character, but that's basically what it is. And some will get it, some won't. But that's okay, you know, at this stage. You know, when we talk about public speaking in that context. Public speaking is an art, but it is a lifelong art.
Yes.
So some of us as adults, even as Toastmasters, we're practicing the art, but it still takes time for us to get to that point of free expression. So that's why I love theater, because theater helps you to get there.
And these skills are transferable across the board.
Yeah.
So no matter what profession a child ends up doing as an adult, the skills that they're going to learn through initiatives like pontifications and poetry will help them for life, in terms of their family life, in terms of their relationships, in terms of how they relate to work colleagues, how they're able to represent themselves, and so on in any environment. So these are excellent lifelong skills that our students are learning.
Amen to that. And so because all the tickets are gone, I can't now get in there. Can I see it?
We'll give you a blind.
Well, I think there will be viewing for this of this later. I believe that compliments the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation and one of our sponsors. But we do want to mention a few of our sponsors. We have several, and we're just going to mention a few because this is being done in collaboration with Starcom Network Inc., the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust. These are our gold sponsors, and the Student Revolving Loan Fund. But then we also have the ICBL Sapphire People's Pick. I forgot to mention that. Now, this is another segment of the competition. Apart from what is going to happen on Saturday, what would have been happening through November 9th to 17th, it actually closed off yesterday, is that students had a chance to upload their preliminary videos. Not necessarily what you're going to see on Saturday, but they uploaded their preliminary videos, and it was an opportunity for the public to vote for what they like the most. So we had that People's Pick. The most liked videos will be selected, and that's just for the ICBL Sapphire People's Pick Award.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Initiatives unfolding indeed. Well done. Well done,
Thank
Denise
you.
Charles and the Ministry of Education
An
Transformation.
excellent team of people, led by Gloria Haynes and a whole collection of people, both inside and outside the ministry, have made this happen. And we're very thankful to senior management at the Ministry of Education and all those partners, parents, everyone who has come on board to really make this initiative what it will be on Saturday.
We know it's exciting. We know it's challenging for a lot of people. We know that some nerves will be unfolding before our eyes, but we know it's going to be great. Our children's development we'll be watching on stage at the Frank Cullimore Hall this coming Saturday. If you have your ticket, you need to be in your seat by 4:45. It starts at 5 o'clock promptly. So we want you to be there early. Find your park in your seat as well, and then you settle down and be prepared to support the 20 young people of Barbados schools who are competing in pontifications and poetry this year. And so your support is important. And so for all of you from who couldn't make it like me, then we'll watch it on TV when it comes up so we can hear our students from our school as well. So get ready for that opportunity as well. Thank you again, Denise. Thank you, Antoine.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We can't wait to see how our children perform. Folks, we're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount. Sponsored by Get Healthy.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
25 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock as we turn our attention back to all that's been happening this month of Child Month and Family Month, really, looking at building stronger families and stronger, healthier communities. I know I changed the word in there. Well, Sharon Rose Gittins is back with me. As you do know, she is the Vice President of the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers. And so, Sharon, we want to look today at co-parenting. And we also want to look ahead at what's happening tomorrow, the big activity tomorrow, which all men are invited to.
Definitely.
So when we talk co-parenting, what are we talking about?
And I think one of the best ways that I can share it with you and share it with the viewers, and permit me, to share it in a poem, actually. Two houses now, a different view each day. Two sets of rules, a different way to play. The bags are packed, a rhythm we now know, a constant motion, where to and fro. The road is not always a gentle winding lane, but a bumpy track, a mixture of joy and pain. We swallow pride, we navigate the strife, for a child who deserves a whole full life. You are a good dad, and I a good mum. We give them roots, and then we help them roam. It's not the dream we plan, no perfect single scene, but two strong homes, and in the middle, what has been. A love that lives, a future to create, two hands that guide, two hearts that celebrate. We share the tasks, we split the care, and find a way to show them that we're here. Co-parenting.
Wow. I like the way it started. Two different homes, two different sets of rules, two different sets of everything. And that's what co-parenting can look like.
Yes.
As well, where mommy they're split, basically.
They're split, and you have two different parenting styles, which is okay. But it's being able to navigate that and respect that as parents.
How do we do that? Because I ain't talking to you. This relationship could break down to that point.
Yes.
And therefore, your values might be slightly different from my values as well.
And that's definitely one of the issues that we've found in terms of impacting on effective co-parenting, where the communication, where the anger, where the animosity, where the friction and frustration has been playing out. But let's take it away from you and I as the adults and focus on the child. That father's relationship with the child is going to be totally different. And likewise, my relationship with that child. So where can we navigate and find that middle ground? You can be angry with me, but let's not put the child in it. Easier said than done. We often hear that families are the bedrock of our society, which is true. But it's the parenting style that really builds that socialization. So I think that, and our society, in terms of protecting children, when we look at the legislation, we've gone from, you have the Minors Act, you have the Domestic Violence Act that has changed now to accommodate the child. You also have the Child Protection Act, in an effort to emphasize the child is a critical part of that relationship and what we want to see grow.
That's a whole change in societal construct as well.
It is.
Because we feel that once we separate, we have to fight.
Yeah.
And the child is the one who's trampled in all of that that's happening there.
Yeah.
But how do you make then co-parenting work given all of that?
And I think what will help is if we have more success stories, more lived experiences, more persons coming out and talk about it. Recently, our minister, Lisa, who would have shared, and she would have shared, just quite frankly, as they were talking about the paternal and family leave and family act and everything that's coming out, that she had a successful co-parent relationship. Me, in terms of parents being divorced, grant you I was quite young and just giddy-headed little girl running around. But in terms of understanding and knowing, okay, it can work, is by seeing examples of persons and talking more about it and exposing the adults as well as children to what it is and what it looks like as well. We can train as well.
So you, as social workers, you can help us manage the process.
I think definitely as social workers, I think there's spaces where you, right now, where you meet the social worker, where you interact with the social worker. Over the month, you've been having child care boards here sharing their examples in terms of residential care, which really is not the state taking the child because there are issues as relates to maybe the mommy or daddy not being able to manage the needs of the child. But for sure, I think that there is the ability to, let's talk about it, let's see where things are taking place. There's family mediation in terms of going to the courts, and it may not even be the court. Sometimes it's just a matter of let's talk. Let's
put aside our emotions and talk.
And recognize how it's impacting on that child, where the child is acting out at school, where the child now becomes a bully or is bullied. Because in a home they're seeing examples of, here it is, this is how we do it. You know, it's also this war, and it doesn't have to be that way.
It really, really doesn't.
No.
Is what we're looking at it's the typical separation of parents.
Yes.
Are there other forms of co-parenting that we also need to take into consideration?
For sure, and I know some of the viewers may wonder, how can she say that? And this is co-parenting in death. Right now, our country is going through a lot of trauma. A lot of families have been torn. This isn't just COVID-19. This isn't just the climate change. This isn't just the persons who've died in terms of homicides and crime and stuff, but the natural deaths that are occurring of our men, of our fathers. My child, and you started off looking at the premature baby. When we started, it wasn't out of force and anger and stuff. There was a point where you loved and respected each other. Coming out of that, then I'm saying to the persons and saying to families that recognize those moments that were happy, recognize as well that this is not how you want it to be in the future. So I think that as we grow together, then it will help the relationship as well. Yeah?
You're talking about death, and there are some children, I'll use my real life example.
Yes.
3 years old, my nephew, his father suddenly died when he was 1. And so we've all stepped up, the men in the family have stepped up to co-parent him. And I'm just asking whether to look at those situations where that
you have
kind
the
of scenario,
father figure.
you know, have to be a responsible father figure. Yeah.
Correct. And you also need to talk to the child too about the death of the father. Have a photo. There must be some closure. Quite recently I've heard and listened, sadly, this adult female who is still pining for the death of her father. And I said she needs to create a space somewhere, whether it's to write a letter, whether it is say everything you didn't get a chance to say to him, whether it's visiting or revisiting where he's buried, whether it's playing a song, having something. And because as this child grows, it's not going to just grow looking like you, it's going to grow with mannerisms also of that particular dad or mom who has passed away. So we need to remember that.
And so it's important for the wider family to recognize your role to co-parent.
Correct.
As well. You don't abdicate your responsibility. You are a part of the development of the child. The child lives within your cocoon, so to speak, within your contract as a family. And so when there's a bit of a void, you step in, you reinforce the same values that make a healthy, independent, responsible child. That's part of your responsibility as well.
And if you're unable to do so, seek help.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
If you're unable to do so, also recognize that it's okay. It's there services out there that can provide the help that you need, and it's okay to say to, I know we are cell phones, we are technology, everything happens now, and we're in this motion that just keeps going, and saying to persons, let's wait. You know, we have to wait just to get whatever. It's not going to happen now. If you have that bucket list or whatever, this is the goalpost. Don't leave it there. But make sure that you understand it's not going to be as immediate as you clicking on your phone and finding out everything is in place.
It's not a fast food
No,
episode.
it's definitely not, no.
There are also situations where there are people who are coping, and the traditional family, mom and daddy there, but somehow their finances aren't able to support the child in the same way. But there are others who can help. And I'm saying this because I want people to see yourself as part of the whole ecosystem for the child.
For the
so
child.
if you can help co-parent, gone were the days where women had 10 children and so you struggle with also the uncles step in to help.
Correct.
Because I was fortunate to have had godparents to this day who are still a critical part of my development. I respect them for that. And so
I share that with you, you know, when I look back at my childhood too, the godmother that, you know, I was looking over the window and just, she saw me and stuff and said, yeah, Sharon, come over. It is like, you're there. Yes, mommy and daddy would have been at home at that time.
But you also had that. And that's what I want everyone to take away from this as well. Co-parenting is not just for the mommy and daddy alone. It's for all of us to all help. And we're talking the village and the herding and the community and that kind of thing. Yes, we look at it broadly in that way, but really at the end of the day, you're also co-parenting. And that's why we need to take our roles and responsibilities so seriously to create and foster that environment where the child grows well.
And I compliment teachers and nurses and everybody in those spaces that really facilitate the need of the child and meeting that need. Sometimes it is the teacher who firsthand recognize, okay, this child is something is missing, something they want, something. And they try to pull it together. So definitely we co-parent as a society, but more importantly, let's not leave our fathers out.
Coming to that, because sometimes the father wants to co-parent. The father wants to play as important a role in the life of his child as he sees the mother gets the opportunity to do. But then there are barriers to him being able to do that. So where do we go when that happens?
I want to tell the fathers out there, don't let yourself be the barrier. Don't let your thought process be that first barrier where you say, I can't, I wouldn't, the child will grow up and then come and connect with me. No, you know, that defeatist thinking. Start to say, I can, I am, I will, I need to, for the sake of the child, not the mother, who may have a new relationship or doing, no, for that child, who may one day, if it's a girl child, may one day have a boyfriend, a husband who is a mirror image of what my daddy's supposed to be like. So, first up, take away your own restrictions on yourself, okay? Come out to our presentation.
Tomorrow.
Come out, yes. And hear Judge Watts as he addressed issues of visitation. Custody, however, is only dealt with in the High Court. At the Magistrate Court, issues of access and so on can be played out and discussed there. So I encourage them to definitely come out, hear the information. And I mentioned the phone. You could even do a Google. You know, you can go, there are a number of Facebook groups as well that talks about co-parenting and parental rights. Hear what is being said, you know, get the knowledge and definitely support us.
And so tomorrow, 6 o'clock,
6
at the Barrack building on the ground floor.
On the ground floor, first floor. Good memory, Pearson.
I'm working on it, girl. Working on it. As old as I get, I have to keep it rolling. We all gather as men. So if you have parent issues with access and all of those kinds of things, this is a great opportunity for you to come and you hear from Magistrate Elwood Watts how the court system views your actions. And rather than trying to take everything into your own hand and fight the law, let the law help you fight your case. And that's what this is about.
Correct. And you are hearing from other fathers. You're going to be in a space with other fathers. And I want to also encourage grandfathers. There's situations where men in their own trauma is there because of their father-son relationship was torn years ago and never healed. So let's bring out the grandfathers as well. Bring out the fathers and even potential fathers.
Yes, I was coming to that too.
Potential fathers, come.
So if you have a little son in your family who's growing, he's in his teens or heading into his early 20s, and you believe that you want to stop the trauma, bring him as well. Bring him as well, because there's a lot he can learn too. So it's on the ground floor of the Barak building tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Get there early, because within all of that, we're doing some sipping and painting.
You remembered. Yes. The end, because we don't want to bring up all of this, and then leave you feeling, oh my, torn. And no, that's not what we're about. We want you to come down, and leave
clearly
with a painting that says, this is my work. This is my work on International Men's Day, highlighting my role as daddy.
It is going to be a wonderful way for you to see clearly at the end of the session as well. So don't forget, it's tomorrow. It's a safe space, gentlemen. It is not a space where anyone will be judging you about your life, what you've done, none of that. You will receive guidance. The counselors will be there to assist you where possible. And also the sip and paint will allow you to bring it all down and you begin to focus. Because sometimes in our own emotions, we become quite erratic and we lose focus. Tomorrow allows you to be able to do so. But tomorrow also allows you the opportunity to have a guided roadmap as to how you can see the success and the change that you want to have in that relationship with your child. And so turn up tomorrow. Turn up tomorrow. Father, grandfather, son, men, tomorrow. Let's fill that space. It begins at 6 o'clock. You can get there as early as ever. The earlier the better, as a matter of fact. It's never too early. And if you're just past 6 o'clock, it's not too late. You can still show up because you will accommodate you there at the Barak building tomorrow at 6 o'clock. When men come together to look at men's issues and get advice from the court as to how to proceed. Indeed, this is critical. This is important. If we're building healthier families and healthier communities, this is one step you should take, gentlemen. I commend it to you.
Yeah, and I say thank you. Thank you for the promotion. Thank you, CBC. Thank you for those who have also supported the effort, Child Care Board, in terms of working together, the collaboration, the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, all bringing this together for our community.
Our pleasure. We are part of the community. That's
We're part of the community.
All right. Thank you, Sharon. Sharon Rose Gittins, Vice President of the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers, inviting men to tomorrow's activity and reminding you to take a look at the construct of co-parenting, take your responsibilities seriously, and let's remember the child is the most important factor here. It's not how you feel for the other person, it's the child. And let's create situations where our families foster and are healthier. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solaray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Today is Tuesday, and I'm sure that you remember that tomorrow, Wednesday, is International Men's Day, and so tomorrow is one day we spend some time focusing on men. So tomorrow we want to take some time to really look at the issues of confronting them and a whole lot more. But I want to remind you also on Thursday we're having a very special queue in the community right here at the CBC. So get ready to get into your car, on the bus, do what you have to do to be on the compound of the CBC. There's no better place to be on Thursday for Q in the community in celebration of the contribution of King Scorpion. So wear red and come support King Scorpion, the memory of King Scorpion, as you have a good time with everyone else as you socialize at Q in the community on Thursday. That's it for today. The little crew joins me saying to all of you, good today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.